This is the Oakwyn Podcast, featuring Morgan Brown and Michael Yu.
Welcome to the Oakwyn Podcast. I'm your host, Michael Yu.
And I'm Morgan Brown.
And I'm the Podfather.
And we have a special guest today, Jenny Woon.
Jenny Woon!
Hey.
Back in the hot seat.
I know. A two-time guest. And yeah, that's really exciting to have you, Jenny. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me back. It's been 7 months since I've been here.
Oh, wow. You've tracked it. Did you write it in your diary?
She tracks everything. She tracks everything, guys.
It's called preparation.
Yeah, I love you.
Do you track, like, do you track things, like everything?
Well, I...
Mentally? Yes, I think so.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I think it's the best way to kind of go back and renew and review what I've done so that I can do things better.
Sure. So how do you do that? Do you do that?
How do you do that?
Yeah.
I would say going back into all my notes again,
right,
and preparation, reviewing, so that I'm really just taking in what I've done and then analyzing it and how I've executed it, and whether that's been done properly or whether there's lessons learned.
Yeah, and
then I'm taking it off to the next step by embracing the change that I need to make to adjust.
No, do you bring people in on that, or is it just a Jenny Woon thing? Is it like it, like you're centered with yourself, or do you like bring in a couple people to kind of keep you there?
I get a bit of, like input from others, but based on my intuition and my gut and whether or not I'm satisfied with the outcome, I just like go with it. Like I'm just going with my gut, and based on the principles and values and rules that we need to abide by, that's basically what I'm, kind of going with what I know what's best for others.
You talk a little bit about trusting your gut. Do you have like a rule of, like, you are really gut oriented, like you really go with your intuition. What do you think is
you
like...
do have a big gut.
You have a big gut.
I'm kidding. I have the big gut.
Michael needs a drink.
Coming in.
I mean, apple pie, don't tell you that to me.
It's all the mini donuts that I had last night.
I'm kidding.
You're like, what do you, like, I'm a big person about that too. What do you think you're, like, is it a feeling that you have, or is it like, do you have like a way of figuring out your
boundaries? Knowing what your boundaries are and staying aligned with your values is so important, because only you will know what's right for you. And so if you're, going off course of that and being coerced by colleagues or people, friends, family. I know family always has a lot of input when they don't know what's best for you.
Oh, I know.
Totally.
Then you're gonna have resentment.
Yes.
Right.
What are some of those boundaries that you have, Jenny?
I basically not doing the right, like if you're doing the wrong thing, or if it's going to hurt somebody, or if it's going to affect results that may not be the best outcome for everybody.
Yes.
That's one, really big boundary I would have.
Someone told me a long time ago, ask the question, is it good for them? Is it good for you? And will it be good for both? Like, will it have a good outcome? That was always like my question to myself. Like, okay, is it good for Mike? Yes, I just bought one of his pre-sales. Is it good for me? Yeah, I guess the investment's okay. And then is it good for us? Yes, it is. It'll make our like you have to kind of
and know what your intention is.
Know your intention.
Yeah,
totally. That's cool.
So you mentioned kind of like when you're doing your reflection, when you're doing your tracking, that a lot of it is within yourself. But do you ever consult other people? You do consult other people, and who are those people? And like, are they in different realms? Yeah.
My accountant, who who keeps me out of trouble.
My accountant.
That's the simple answer. But I have hired a coach before, a business coach.
Okay,
she kept me really accountable.
Right.
I think the book club is a really good thing to kind of promote, because we're checking in with each other once a month. And,
I love that.
Yeah. Are we?
It's like a little master's group.
Are we reading the book and really reflecting on how we're doing our business based on those books and recommendations? I meditate quite a bit. So just reflecting on subconsciously, like, how do I feel, and really being in touch with my emotions.
Now, are you an introvert or an extrovert? Like, do you get charged when you're around people, or is it the other way around? Or are you just like a big personality, but an introvert? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's like
I can play the part when it needs to be played, but I love my alone time. Like I love vacationing solo. I love meditation. I'm really looking into ayahuasca at the moment.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
You're not a drug addict at all.
No,
though. Yeah,
I've never
You've
done.
never touched anything.
I've never done any hallucinations, mushrooms.
Really?
Or anything
It's the best.
Like that.
What is it about ayahuasca?
it's the best though.
Have you tried it?
No, but my brother is
Okay.
a doctor and he's like preaching
Like
it
a
right
shaman
now.
or a...
No, he's preaching like using for all different types of like whether it's meditation, PTSD. Like he really believes in. He's trying to push that actually using a hallucinogen like drugs to help you overcome some of the body shaming or whatever it may be.
Right,
He
whatever it is.
totally believes in it. So
Yeah, PTSD, OCD, whether you have trauma, childhood trauma.
childhood trauma is a big one. Yeah.
But I mean, I faced a lot of adversity growing up in my career. And I've also faced, in our business, we're always encountered by stalkers. I have been encountered by stalkers, sexually harassed and sexist comments. And so I just want to let that go. But also, in my previous relationships, I've gone through quite a bit of hardship and separation, and so I want to just let that go and put it in the past and move forward with my new partners that's currently in my life, and just making sure that I'm connecting really well with people and not putting anything in that way.
yeah.
How did you get
Love that.
introduced? And maybe you can tell us what ayahuasca is and how did you get introduced to it? Yeah.
Gosh, I'm not a shaman or anything like that, but I know you go to a retreat, whether
Sure.
between 3 days to 7 days.
Yeah.
I have one in mind in Costa Rica.
Oh,
Not
cool.
this trip, but will be another.
Was it on Goop? This is the
It
one on Goop?
wasn't- Oh,
There was one on Goop in
with
Costa
Gwyneth
Rica.
Paltrow?
Which Gwyneth. Goop is it's a lifestyle brand
Oh, okay.
that Gwyneth Paltrow started, and she is like a master at finding how to use specific things that are really not I guess
It's on Netflix.
series that are kind of taboo. So
Oh, okay.
she talks about sex, she talks about drugs, she talks about all these different things. And one of them was in Costa Rica.
She brought one
Yes.
of her coworkers, employees to ayahuasca to help him with some blockage.
Is
or-
it
Yeah.
illegal or is it?
No.
No?
It's not legal though.
Okay.
It's not
Oh.
illegal, but it's
I
also
should not say
legal.
legal or not legal.
Yeah, so it's a herbal medicine, and some of the symptoms would be purging, vomiting, laughing, crying.
Okay.
And you're taking this tea, medicinal tea, and you're allowing yourself to just release whatever it is, and you're journaling, and you're taking yourself to upper subconsciousness that you may
can't
not
get to.
have. Yeah, you can't get to.
Yeah.
On a day-to-day basis.
I know a lot of people have done it, and they have they preach it, but then they've done it a couple times, and then it doesn't work anymore for them because they've gone so far down. I guess.
Right. Oh, I mean, yeah, you can go.
You can go pretty
10
far.
times.
Yeah.
I know some they've done. They said it. They've done it a few times, and they're done with it.
They're done.
Yeah,
Yes.
they've released whatever they needed to do.
Yeah.
and I know that it's probably pretty hard on your body too. And I've never taken any. I've never drank alcohol. Never had taken drugs. So
Yes.
I'm pretty sure my body will react.
Pretty
extreme
to it.
So we'll see. But I'm really curious about it. And
I wish you the best of luck with it because I think it's going to be great.
Yeah. I think it's so my wife took it.
Yeah.
She went on a retreat to
And
do
she
it.
said that they said that you're going to have a daughter, and it happened. Remember?
Yeah, thanks for
gonna think that
spoiling the
shaman.
story.
Oh, sorry.
I'm going to call Morgan spoiler alert from now on.
Spoilers.
I thought you were going to do something
The
like
ring goes in the fire. Don't watch it.
I thought you were going to say something really deep, and I was like, oh my god.
They die at the end. Don't bother.
Okay, we can get
Iron
Brandon
Man
to come.
dies. Don't watch it.
We can get Brandon. Okay, tell the full story. We'll get Brandon to beat that one out.
Cole's notes, but I think she got so much from it. She, it helped her substantially to move on from things that have happened to her in the past, and create some realizations and it felt like she opened up some new different kind of ways of seeing things, which was kind of really cool. And I think I think it was necessary for her to do before we had our kid, right? So because she was able to, kind of, she saw a really weird thing.
Tell the story about tell the story about the daughter thing, though. What she saw.
Well, yeah, she. I don't want to get into, this is her story. I don't want to get into too many things because I think people have different experiences on it. I've heard that other people that, it's
tragic.
It's all like,
whoa,
really scary. And so it really, I think it affects people differently. She asked me if I wanted to take it. I feel like I'm not ready for like.
Oh, I don't know if you should take it.
I don't know. I'm like kind of.
I know. I think I can't get over the idea of shitting myself. Because that's what happened.
I've never heard that before.
Oh, I've known people that have took poos and
really,
and vomit at the same time. So you just have to be with the right group.
That's like having labor.
Yeah,
right?
It's like both.
It's
like all of the time.
It's all.
But oh my god! And but I would say like that. Yeah, they've said like it was intense. But we know like a bunch of Oakwyn-ites have done it.
Oh yeah.
You know the group. Right? This was early days.
The drug addict WhatsApp group.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
I didn't know we had that group in
I'm kidding.
No, there's a good group. I think at the beginning, anyways, there was a lot of people wondering what it was. And they were, I'm not going to call anybody out.
I mean, it's not for everyone, but you have to have a purpose.
You got to have a purpose, and I believe in it.
Yeah.
I think it works.
Red Table Talk with Jada Pinkett Smith. They had an episode about it.
Okay.
And it saved Lisa Ling's marriage. Her husband went to that. GoDaddy's president or founder, he used to be, he was a Navy SEAL or
he had PTSD.
And so he had PTSD, and that really helped him in his life. But I really think that, I want to just open up and be more connected with people and let down a lot of my walls is probably my main purpose and just trust more.
That word trust. And you have to be very intentional with it, right? Like, what do I need from this? What do I want from it?
Do you have to be intentional about it, or can you just kind of explore and kind of like...
I think you can go both ways.
Yeah, I guess you can go both ways, right?
Like, I mean...
I think sometimes when you put some expectations on things, like, they can,
Everyone has a different way of like getting through things, It just depends on, what... And if you need to go through that next phase, right? Like whether it's ayahuasca or just like finding a new belief. I just met somebody today and she's changed her faith completely. She's like changed her faith from Catholicism to Judaism. Like that's like a different, you know what I mean? Like very different. She was raised very Catholic and then she just was like really searching for something. And then she found something in, Judaism. And she said, Morgan, I've never felt so like full.
Wow.
That was very, and so I think everyone has their own faith, different,
I've heard
messages.
people like, quit their jobs and they have the courage to finally quit their jobs or leave their marriages because they found themselves.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's for
I
sure.
think, something that I noticed about Jenny, just working with her and being friends with her for so long, you're always on this kind of like pursue growth and improving yourself all the time. Like you're always in this kind of like, does that ever tire you out or no? Does it like really kind of like spur you on?
I thrive on it.
Yeah.
It's motivating me every day.
Right.
Getting to learn new things and self-develop and I think also when I get feedback from others about I had the most humbling experience with one of my teammates. So I had coffee with her, which is part of my accountability is to connect with my team members. And she gave me great feedback about kind of my reputation in the business.
Interesting.
And also,
we're getting in it.
I've always passed on my leads, like even my core sellers and buyers. Right. I've passed on and moved away from just doing the day-to-day transactions. And so the feedback that they gave to her was that I wasn't connecting enough with them on an emotional level. So they felt it was very transactional. And unfortunately, that's how I was like trained. Like I worked for a project marketing company earlier in the days. I worked for a very, well-oiled machine, like reputable builder. And we were just trained to take orders. Okay. If you're coming through the door, are you ready to buy? If you're not ready to buy, I got somebody else waiting in line ready to buy. Yeah. That's how cutthroat it was. And it still kind of is with pre-sales right now. So that's how I kind of, I guess, gave that energy is what I gave off, which it wasn't intentional, but that's the volume, the sheer volume of what we do in our business is just like, okay, what's next? What's next? Let's keep going. Let's keep moving. It's productivity. So the feedback I got from her was that I needed to connect more with my people and my circle, my main circle. I take care of them. I protect them. They don't see that. But anybody outside of that, they didn't really see a connection. So I really want to be just be more vulnerable, which is what I've been doing on my podcast.
Yes. I've actually noticed that on your podcast.
Me too.
Jenny has an awesome podcast.
Oh, yes.
She's
the queen of podcasts.
In the House podcast. And yeah, it's just
Thanks
a fantastic, it's such a fantastic resource.
Whenever I think of In the House podcast, I think of like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yep.
Yeah?
It's like in the house.
Yeah.
Get it? Like dun 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 dun. Like it just comes on my ear. I'm like, oh.
Right.
But no, I think do you think that being vulnerable is just being more empathetic? Like, do you feel like you have to just be more empathetic towards because I find that's
compassionate. Everybody's understanding everybody's, they want to be heard.
They want to be heard. They want to be listened to.
3 things people need: food, sex, and be heard. Talk about that? I guess you weren't assuming that I was going to say that, right?
No.
Those are the 3 things that humans need.
I was like, you are correct. That's all I need.
Morgan only has a second thing on her priority.
This is it.
Baby number 3 coming.
No. I saw one of our agents. I was like, I can't. But I will say that's my mother actually always preached that being compassionate, empathetic. That's all she wanted her kids to be, right? Like just in those key moments. I just want you to be empathetic and compassionate.
Core number 1 for Oakwyn is people first. And so all that is about is like connecting and making connections and putting business aside and really understanding people's journeys. And one of my main goals is really understanding people's levels of success.
Right.
Success means
different things.
Maybe it could be 12 transactions. It could be 50,000. It could be taking 6 months of the year off. It could be designing your life the way you want. It could maybe just mean a couple of transactions here and then doing their passion projects on the side. So
what's going to make you happy?
Yeah.
That's a good segue into an announcement that we're going to make.
Yeah. Jenny, you want to make
Jenny's
that?
Oakwyn Realty North West.
Yeah. So what is it? Like a drum roll? Okay.
Drum roll,
So so Jenny Woon is going to be leading us in Burnaby and opening her own office in North Burnaby.
Finally.
Yes.
We're excited.
Secret, not so secret, but we've been working closely with Jenny over the past couple years for her to start her own office and her own Oakwyn brand, which is going to be called
Oakwyn Realty North West.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
I need a jingle.
I know. It's like jingle. I think this is going to be, I'm so excited for you, Jenny. Like, first of all, as Mike was saying, we have spent so much time with you to kind of move forward. And then COVID happened. And I'm so happy that this is really just like kind of rising from the ashes in a weird way, that everything's like really getting picked up. So as Jenny was saying, she preaches our core values. Preaches them.
Being such a pillar of our community, just representing our value system, being a great leader, and so open and sharing and innovative in everything she does. So I think she's the perfect fit to.
We couldn't think of anyone else that's better in Burnaby, the Queen of Burnaby,
to lead the office. So Jenny, why don't you share a little bit? So you're in the process of renovating right now. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm nervous. I'm like excited. I am, I have so much support. I can feel the love in this room. At the moment we have the plans in place. Quotes are
beautiful
estimate.
Office. Right.
And
stunning.
And I'm setting up all the systems on the back end with the conveyancer and with the printer and even down to the little details of picking the coffee machine and the coffee. I'm taking coffee orders right now. I'm hoping, this could be ambitious, but hoping in the springtime it'll open, I'll be opening the doors, but come talk to me. I'm ready to meet up with you and hear about your goals and hear about hear why you belong to Burnaby.
Right. And
So when are we expecting estimated time for that to open up?
So yeah, March-ish is what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
And the space is already a blank canvas, and
Right.
we're in the middle of renovating. We got furniture already being delivered, and hopefully, the
Furniture.
floods is not going to affect
Yeah.
anything.
No.
I got this, the Amazon locker system that I was telling you about that I was trying to sell you guys, which you guys agreed to add to the space, which is a really useful system, being able to do key turnovers really quickly between agents to agents. And it'll be a really cool spot, like a really open, bullpen, collaborative.
Right.
I can see people
environment.
just being able to connect again. That word connect is all over Jenny right now.
We were looking earlier this morning. We were looking through the plans
That's
and
right.
the some of our some of the artist renderings and stuff like that, and just such an open community space. What are you hoping for the culture there, Jenny?
Yeah.
Like besides all Asians? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm
Everyone's
not
welcome.
going to name, and everyone's welcome.
Yeah.
Culture will be collaborative,
Right.
and interactive. And accessible. I know that one of the biggest things is having a managing broker, which I'll be wearing that hat.
Yeah.
For
Go,
a little
Jenny.
bit. Yeah, is
That's
to
right.
being tapped into the moment of the agent. If they're in the middle of the deal or whether they're solving a problem for their client, I'm like right there with them.
Amazing.
Yeah. And that's so refreshing, specifically for a lot of agents, to be able to tap into the knowledge base that you have, Jenny. And we've talked about it in our previous podcast, but, so much experience in project sales and development sales and planning, but also on the resale side, running a real estate team of very successful. Highly, top 10% plus real estate team for many, many years, and you've kept your group together. I think people have so much to learn from you, and yeah, so excited for this next step. It's funny because you don't look like a managing. Like the standard manager, right?
Do I need a
Are you
balls and
85?
chains? Do I need a handcuff to the table?
Yeah.
No, that's why we're innovative.
Yeah, totally
Yeah.
changing that kind of culture of the leadership of what a real estate office is all about is something that I'm excited for.
I think it's going to be fun in your office. I just think of the word FUN.
I thought you were going to sell something else. Okay, I wanted a ping pong table.
See,
in the
I
boardroom.
can feel it.
Yeah. So I've already purchased, the parts and the paddles and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And more and more of you to what Mike's saying, it's totally like you're just an open book with what you've done in the last how many years it's been.
Maybe
in
you
the
can give us
industry.
a little bit of your background, just like some of
Share.
your history in real estate and kind of like a little bit of that.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
19 years in the business.
Right.
And I started off with a really large company called Polygon in corporate sales as on the floor selling real estate, actually as a sales coordinator. I was cleaning the landscaping, picking up garbage around, doing the admin, getting initials via carbon copy at that time. Didn't even have, I don't even think we had MLS. We used those books to update ourselves on new listings. I knew that I wanted to be on the sales floor. So I basically worked really hard in the mornings and in the evenings and on the sales floor, really managing
dedicated.
the floor and being of great value to the sales managers. I quickly rose to a sales manager position. And after 5 years with that company, I decided to go to a project marketing company. From there, worked a few projects, and then worked in the Okanagan for another project marketing company, came back into the city, worked for another developer. And afterwards, I said, you know what? I feel like it's time for me to move on. And my entrepreneurial hat, I basically moved into the resale business.
Right.
But the developers realized, whoa, Jenny's a free agent. She's free to do whatever she wants. She's not managed by
bounded
to one builder. So that's when I decided to contract myself out as a agent who did pre-sale
Project marketing,
projects, plus resale. And so now I had a really great balance in both sides of the business. And it just became one project to another project to another project where I'm managing 3 to 4 projects a year, burned myself out in about 2009, 2010. And from there, that's when I knew I had to grow my team. So I grew my team to a marketing manager, and then added a couple more agents where I was able to pass a lot of leads on and have them help me on the projects. And now we have the West One real estate marketing,
Right.
where we help with branding, where we help with sales training and execute, basically brand projects and help execute them by managing the sales team. So it's become 19
Has Miranda
years.
been with you since that time?
No, Miranda joined, I think she's now on her 4th or 5th year anniversary.
Let's talk about your team.
Yeah, they're
Miranda's
fantastic.
amazing.
I wouldn't be where I am today without them.
Oh,
Miranda came from Hollyburn Properties. She's the person behind all the brands that we work on for the projects, but also behind in-house podcast. She does all like the
Really, the
editing, the
CMO.
videos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's wears
Totally
so many hats.
CMO.
I won't be able to find anybody.
yeah,
like
it's
her.
hard. She's amazing.
And so in the meantime, I have like 5 agents that does resale, and they love pre-sale too. So they've been able to work on projects without really compromising the time that they need to spend on resale as well. So
And they've really grown, while they've been with you too. Like
I'm
Yes.
so happy for their success. Like they've built their own house. They've bought investment properties.
Right.
Andrew, since they've been on the team, Andrew and Samantha had kids. I'm just seeing them buying property up, and I'm so happy. So
They're
happy.
building. Yeah, and they have so much, I can say something about the one word that comes to mind when I think about your group is integrity. It's a really integral group. Every one of them, what they say is what you're going to get. It just seems like that. And it's something I have to tip my hat off to you, because that's a really hard thing to do, to get so many people that are so aligned together. Yeah.
I mean, the best way to look at it is going from bottom up and out.
Yeah.
The way Simon Sinek arranges his business models, rather than going down and in.
Yeah.
And you're just wanting the team to grow and be part of that business and own that business like it's theirs.
Yeah. Flourish
So,
together,
yeah.
right? Building it together, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm
they
excited.
I give them so much credit, for the success of the projects and for. I'm not the best. I have to admit, I'm not the best salesperson, just because, like you said, like I mentioned, one dimensional. I'm the profit driven and productivity. I work really well with developers because it's all business. But when it comes to connecting with clients, they're so good at it. They're so good at relationship building. And yeah, that's. I give them all my leads.
Well, you're going to have so much knowledge to give to some of your Oakwyn Northwest. I'm thinking ONW, just so strong.
Yeah.
And get all those agents that are going to be coming along with you. So I'm sure that they're going to hear so many different tales. And then obviously that team is there to help as well, which is fantastic. Are they excited?
They're so supportive. I announced it to them on Wednesday when we had our Christmas party. They didn't really know what was going on until I didn't want to jinx it. So I signed the sublease agreement.
Right.
And then finally, I was able to
Guess
pretty much
what,
tell
guys?
them, to let them know. So they're really excited.
They're pumped.
Yeah.
So pumped.
And it's so it's going to be obviously a new journey for you in this, to build your own brokerage and the office. So let's say I was an agent that's been in the business for 5 years. So I join Oakwyn Northwest. What do I expect?
They're going to expect me. They're not going to get the generic answer where you have to figure it out on your own. The greatest thing is that I have backup. I have you guys, I have Arlene to answer questions and well-experienced people. I also feel like being able to be in such a great community. I'm so supportive of subcultures and corporate cultures. And so being able to be surrounded by people who will also collaborate and help you.
Yeah.
I know previous brokerages, and there are still existing brokerages that are all about all for one. And you're on your own. and you don't, you shut your door to your office,
right?
And you're basically like trying to figure out the business yourself. So the business planning, the mentoring, the community events that are going to be held within our brokerage, and even adding into your brokerage as well, to Oakwyn. I just feel like you just have a family, like you have an extended family.
So exciting.
That's so cool. Yeah, and I think doing business
awesome.
planning with Jenny would be awesome.
I was just thinking that. I was just thinking, okay, business planning with Jenny would be so good because you'd keep them really accountable. You'd be like,
I
that's
just keep
enough.
going. I don't look back. I'm just like don't look in the rearview mirror, and you're just like going forward, and don't say no. Just take the opportunity, and preparation. Be prepared when that door opens.
Oh, so good.
So what do you see in the Burnaby market, Jenny? Obviously, you're really in tune with Burnaby. Your office is going to be in Burnaby. Like, what do you see in that market?
There's so much growth at the moment. There's like 262,000 people that live in Burnaby. There's in terms of population growth, like there's not a lot of laneway homes or coach homes. I don't think that's going to happen. But
they're building up, right? They're building up.
Yeah. So it's in 3 quadrants. There's North Burnaby. So there's Burnaby Heights, which is where Oakwyn North West will be located. Sure. Then there's South Burnaby, which is Metrotown, one of the biggest malls in BC. And Burnaby is like the 3rd largest city in BC as well. And then there's East Burnaby. So every town center, Metrotown, Brentwood, and Lougheed are all growing.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's going to be
rapid growth.
Like unlimited inventory to sell.
Yes.
And all the big builders are in our neighborhood.
Beautiful.
All the big, so there's transit in all directions. I can't really see it going.
Metrotown, I was just in Metrotown at the mall. That's a big mall. I'm just going to say that right now. It's just like,
I bought an Adidas tracksuit.
Where? There?
Like when I was a teenager. No, it wasn't Adidas.
What was
it? Was so I thought it was the same.
It Puma?
No, it was. I thought it was the same, and I got made fun of because everyone was buying Adidas tracksuits, and then I was like, "Oh, there was like Converse tracksuit,
cool.
which is 2 stripes, not 3 stripes." And I was like, but it was like less than half the price. So I bought it and I showed it off at school.
And they were like, Michael,
and they're like, that's crap. And I was like, what? And then I didn't know that because we had those Tearaway Pants.
Yes, the Tearaway Champions.
And I didn't know you were supposed to wear shorts underneath them.
Oh my God.
So like somebody tore my pants off.
It was
in front of everyone, and it was just
God,
and it was just like my tighty whities. And I was like, I'll be a nerd for the rest of my life.
Well, now I'm going to call you Tearaway. It's official.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Those are so funny. I want to have a party in my new place because it's a 90s
I gotta
house.
take ayahuasca.
And I want to have my first party is going to be that way. That you dress as you being in high school.
That'll be so fun.
So yes, I'm going to do it. Where my first like house party is like wear what you wore in high school. And like everyone can wear what they wore in high school.
Would you feel still fit what you wore in high school?
Yeah, I wore one. This is so funny. Like, I don't know if you guys remember these, like 1-inch zipper pants. Like they're called Dorinas.
Oh yes, I modeled for them back in the day. I swear, I don't have those photos anymore.
Well, I've never heard of this.
They're just like these.
Dorina?
They're just jeans, and I used to wear these jeans.
Yeah,
because low-waisted Britney Spears times, right?
Oh yeah,
was really in. Or baggy Modro pants. Modro? Do you guys don't? Okay, whatever.
Nope, no clue.
No, don't know.
Anyways, that's so funny. Metrotown. Yeah, I see
How
like,
many stripes?
I see a lot of transit coming to Burnaby. I see a lot of building up. Great developers coming in.
Yeah.
Now, do you want to tell everybody where the actual location of your office is?
The address is 4481 Hastings Street.
Whoa! Everyone, Google. Map it.
And there's so much development happening in that area, which is obviously really great for agents for a variety of different reasons. One is obviously it increases the supply in that market, which desperately needs that supply. But 2, also it creates opportunities to have lots of conversations with clients and stuff like that. Different opportunities always being presented. Like I saw an ad for the 5th tower at Brentwood. Yeah, which is kind of like
whoa.
Yeah.
Have
you seen Solo 4's coming out?
Yeah.
5th tower at amazing Brentwood, and and the mall is like insane.
Insane.
Like the Cineplex and have you guys been to Rec Room?
No.
It's super fun.
What's that?
Super fun. It's like Palladium, but it's run by Silver Cineplex.
Silver City?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Silver City.
I'm going. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
All the
It's
fun
fun with
stuff's
kids.
in Burnaby, like Revs.
Yep, Revs
Yeah.
is still there.
I'm sorry, I love Revs.
Do you like bowling? I can't
love
imagine
bowling.
you being a bowler.
I love bowling like for like 20 minutes and then I'm like,
The
okay.
last couple of times I broke a cut in my nail.
But I like big ball bowling as opposed to like the mini ball Commodore
Yeah, that's
bowling.
not as fun.
I don't
Right.
like the what are
Yeah,
they
the
called?
5-pin bowling.
Yeah, you're really good at bowling. Mike is actually a really good bowler.
Don't brag. Some people
I
have
bragged for you.
skills. Some people have carpentry skills,
He's so good.
fighting skills.
His is bowling.
My secret skill is I can roll
Bowling.
a ball down, yeah. down a
my
lane.
gosh.
Oh man,
So good.
yeah. I think when you're like, so I used to. Because obviously, like when I was in college, 0 dates, clearly. Zero. And then there was this bowling alley close to my house. And if you went there at 11 o'clock, it was like
Which
$1 a
one?
game. It was called Town and Country Bowling
Oh, okay, yeah.
on Marine Drive.
Marine Drive.
So like, but it would be like $1 or $2 a game. And like, so I would just be like, I would go there and I had my own bowling shoes.
Oh my God,
I had my
I love
own
that.
ball. And then I get all the ladies there. With
They're all
my
like
cool
85-year-old
friends.
85-year-old
Oh,
bowlers.
that was prime time.
I remember we used to take limo buses to Revs from here.
Limo
Oh,
buses?
wow.
Yeah, we used to take like in college. We would come here
Limos.
like downtown, and we all pitch in because it's like maybe it's like 15 of us or 10 of us or something like that. We're like, oh, I'll just get a limo and then take a limo bus out to Revs and then
Wow.
drink there because it was so much. I don't know if it was cheaper, and then they would pick us up and bring us back to Vancouver.
In a limo?
Yeah,
You went
limo
bowling
bus.
in a limo?
Limo bus.
Limo bus.
Limo bus.
What are you, Paris Hilton?
Yeah. You see my house? But it was actually a very
This
cost
bowling's so
efficient thing to
hot.
do.
That's like
Yeah.
Paris Hilton.
Plus-
Do you have a Paris Hilton
Impersonation.
impersonation?
No, I don't even watch Paris Hilton. I was always about Nicole Richie.
Okay. what was her? Did she have a slogan? Because
No.
Paris Hilton's slogan is like, "That's hot," right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I don't really
so
remember
hot.
it.
Yeah.
Well,
So
she
hot.
is so. I mean, she talked about branding herself. She's like
Yeah.
She's done a great
major
job.
great job for her. She basically became like she like had nothing going on, and she was like the first person with reality TV.
You're right.
She's
Her
a
and Nicole
very
Richie.
established woman. You know
And
that?
DJ.
And she's got married.
She's a DJ too.
She gets
Yeah.
paid. Like her DJ sets are like one of the top paying DJ sets.
Really?
Yeah, she's very
I think
established.
that's her.
That's
is
her
that
thing.
Her MO.
So
Yeah,
that's
that's
something
okay.
that I just don't understand. So for example, like you're DJing, don't you just press play and then just like kind of like do
Brayden, can you come?
like, I don't know,
Brayden,
maybe you
Brayden,
know better.
come on,
but-
Brayden.
Well, I'm not a DJ. I don't know how to DJ, but there is some skill involved with beat matching. You have to like slow down certain songs. You have to make sure certain songs have the right
Because they don't really use a turntable anymore. They're just there for decoration.
digital
isn't it?
turntables.
Oh, is it
it's
digital
like they're
turntables?
spinning MP3s.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
that-
yeah,
Don't
there
know
you
what
have
that
to
means.
know you have to know the keys and because if you're running two songs into another, they've got to be the same key. They have to be the same. You have to match the BPMs and like I don't know. There is some skill involved.
Okay.
to
There's
it.
some
I just-
skill. I've been to a couple like Las Vegas sets, and they were
Okay.
like the chain smokers and what is the guy? What's that big guy? The Stevie Aoki.
Oh yeah.
He was like amazing, but they're hype. You know, they just want to get everyone like, whoa, whoa, let's go, go.
Steve Aoki looks like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's what he's going
He has
for.
like, oh, is that
That's what he's
his
going for.
Look?
Yeah, that's what he's
Yeah.
going for.
And he's
me
done
and
Looks like
Robin,
Asian
He's
me
done
and Robin
ayahuasca
went.
as
We
well.
were,
Oh, really?
oh my gosh!
Did you bring your glow sticks?
We actually knew how to. we actually knew how to get like you can get past the door into these places. Anyways, Robin always has really good ways of getting into places without us having to pay.
Okay.
But it was very fun. But he was. I actually thought he was actually a great DJ. Like I think you actually have to have skill.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know though.
And hype and
yeah,
the vibe
hype.
and like
Mhm.
get the crowd going.
Yeah.
It's like whoa. But I think also just being like she's a branded, kind of like a celebrity that she gets paid for. Like they get paid to be in those spaces so that
Yeah.
people come,
Like a socialite.
like a socialite.
Right.
Yeah, like you.
In the bowling
Yeah, in the bowling alley, Town and Country Bowling, everyone. This podcast is sponsored by TNC Bowling on Ring Drive. Yeah. Come on Tuesday nights for the $1 bowling at 11 p.m. See you there, everyone.
I don't think that place is there anymore.
Yeah, I think because it got torn down, and then Rennie did a project there.
Yeah,
it's Fraser
Heights
Commons.
Oh,
yeah,
Commons.
Fraser Commons. Yeah.
Oh yes, I've been to that one. Now you're.
It was a really shifty place. It was shifty.
It was kind of in the basement. It was kind of underground. Yeah. And it was like attached to an old hotel. Yeah.
I have an idea. The next Oakwyn party will be at a bowling.
Wow. Whoa. In honor of Michael Yu.
Yes. I want to be on his team. I want to be on your team.
If you had
if you're on Mike's team, it's so good. Actually, I'm not joking.
You know what?
It's actually quite good. That's scary.
I don't want to brag. I don't want to humble brag.
We played with the whole internal team, and Mike was just like winning it. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I was hustling.
Did he bring his own ball? Did he still have his own ball?
I don't know if you brought it.
I brought my own shoes because I like. Yeah, like
it's kind of dirty, right?
Yeah,
well, I don't really like. I guess so. But then they spray it down with the
antibacterial.
Yeah, the bowling attendant will spray it in the shoes and then spray one in his mouth.
like sanitizer nowadays.
Exactly. Like just drink the ethanol.
Sanitizers. Oh my god! Well, we're so excited. Burnaby Heights is first of all. How are you going to get the community involved in this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, tell us a little. I think I want to get everyone excited about.
Yeah, because you are pretty tapped into the community, right?
How are you thinking of getting the Burnaby involved?
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, that you guys are asking my involvement, I've actually sold. I'm going to say 4 to 5 projects, even just along Hastings.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I've sponsored a water fountain along the Willingdon Greenway.
Oh, cool.
So there's my name somewhere on Parker and Willingdon.
Oh, cool.
And I'm part of the Burnaby Board of Trades.
Yeah.
And just being a winner of Best of Burnaby, like
I know.
Yeah, how many times have you won that award?
Now 9, but not counting. Like,
do you like that? She's like this.
Yeah, she did a nail.
9.
These
9
nails have
times.
never bowled.
Is this camera working? Is this camera
9 times.
No, but honestly, I'm going to thank my mom for putting all the votes out. I think she was the one that voted. And
I love your mom.
Thanks, Mom. Shout out to my sister as well, because she's always like giving me input on my podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Just getting involved with like everybody in Burnaby Heights, like along Hastings.
Okay.
I forgot
there's a business community there.
Yeah,
right?
there's a business association.
Right.
And they're really involved with getting like the hats off parade.
Yeah.
Closing the street down.
Mm-hmm.
Just getting the whole city involved.
Just to get really plugged in. And I feel like, realtors don't do that enough, I think.
No.
Yeah. And to get plugged into your community and to be a part of the city and kind of all the different programs and stuff like that. We kind of take it for granted here, don't we?
Yeah, I think
I take mine.
I think Oakwyn is very so involved. Like our Edgemont, we were just really involved in all the Halloween stuff that just happened, and I know Oak Street's in its own little hard place, but even in the Old Town, we have a lot of like the connection of trying to sponsor like young upcoming businesses in the neighborhood. So I think Jenny's just going to take that torch, bring it all along Burnaby Heights and all around Burnaby.
Absolutely.
And really show it up, which we're excited for.
Yeah. It's like, it's going to be like, it's going to be a really awesome adventure. Like we've just in our experience with growing our company and growing the office, it's just been like you were saying, it's not just about the numbers, but it's all the stories you hear. Like the stories that you hear with your team, buying properties, having families and stuff like that. When you kind of really get in.
You get really into people's lives.
Yeah, you're part of their. You're really a part of their lives, and you serve as either like a big fan, or you serve as someone that
inspires,
pushes, puts people in
the right place,
puts people in the right position to succeed. It's so much fun, and you're gonna really love it. I think
wait.
It's funny. I think like we're all kind of meant to be people, right?
Yeah, for sure. Purpose.
Yeah.
I'm really into this.
And I feel like all the stuff that you've gone through, all the stuff that you've learned in your life, and Jenny and I are good friends. And if you want to join the book club, there's maybe 3 members. Jenny and I the like stalwarts, Jenny and Ace, are so, you know, just all those experiences, they're going to benefit others, you know, and because either you'll be able to save them from those pitfalls that you've experienced yourself, or you have that perspective to be able to contribute and move people quicker through some, maybe the dark times and stuff like that. So I'm really excited for that for sure. And it's going to be really cool to see.
I'm excited to see it. I'm so excited to see how you like just make that place so much fun and bring your light and illuminate that kind of space with what you're so good at, which is caring about people and just like helping them, like setting them off to like success. Like I'm like, oh, you're just...
I want to be for them to be wildly successful.
I know.
Yeah.
I know you do. Yeah.
And I've gone through, quite a bit in my life. And to be able to share my story, have them share their story with me, I feel like that's a really fantastic start to a relationship if we can build that community that way.
Yeah.
Well, we wish you all the best.
I've noticed, you know, even on your, like, I listened to Jenny's podcast. Yeah. And it's like, I've actually seen the change in even just like, you know, when you listen to
it's the growth.
There's like a change, a growth, like more openness, more willing to share different stories.
It was
and like
4 months ago.
Kind of like
I can tell you exactly what it was.
Yeah, kind of like because let's say like what I know of you, like we're friends, so it's a, you know, it's like a perfect thing, like, you know, like a perfect, like she has a great business, like, you know, super healthy, doesn't drink, like all this kind of stuff.
Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful.
Keep it going.
Yeah, and you know, that
Smart.
it's like this. So there's like an aura about that. But then when you get to know you, like as a friend and as a person, there's so much more. There's like, you have a lot of depth and you have, you know, a lot of positivity towards others. You want to raise standards for everyone around you. And it's
you got the
like
grit, my dear.
And you're really determined too.
Yeah,
so,
you do.
Like, but I think it's going to be of a lot of value for sure. It's going to be good.
I think it's good to rub shoulders with people like that too.
Yeah,
right?
like
it's all about
need,
that.
if you have people like Jenny in your life, like, you know, just like
kind of,
part of like your top 10.
I'll always be in your team.
Yeah, it's just kind of like you raise
raise
your game up, you know?
That's right. I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's true.
Part of the podcast, I've really, we first set it off as educational.
Sure.
And we've really come to adding in the emotional side of things. Like we've had people singing on there. We've had people crying on there. Tony and I have gotten teary-eyed and we're telling our stories because I come from, relationships that have broken up and how it's affected the business and vice versa. And Tony talks about motherhood and how she has a stay-at-home husband and how that affects their relationship. And then there's the component of entertainment where we're like adding in like our TikTok videos and we don't have the same synergy as you guys because you guys have known each other for so long, but we add in that part with the fun part of the videos with the TikToks. But yeah, I think so far the podcast has really, my main purpose was to like educate. And so from there, I feel like that really helped me just gain grounds of like who I really am and like what's important to people. What are they wanting to take out of these podcast episodes? And these are real things that people will experience in their business. And so I know I'm already prepared and compelled to gravitate to what they're going through because I've already talked about it in the podcast, or it's similar to other people's stories from the other guests that have come on. So I'm familiar with like what everybody's experiences or difficulties are already.
So good.
Yeah.
What are you searching for now? What's next for other than you building this Oakwyn Northwest? What is next? What can people kind of be watching out for with Jenny?
Oh gosh, I would say
2022.
So we actually just partnered up with Ronald McDonald House, BC and Yukon. They're located on Heather Street, and they have a Realty with Heart program. So it's going to be launching in January, where for every house that we sell, we're donating a certain percentage or a certain dollar amount to the Ronald McDonald House, which will help families who are away from home to
for their children.
If you haven't researched Ronald McDonald House, maybe share with us a little bit more. So it's for
Yeah, so it'll feed families, and every dollar counts because it'll help them with accommodations, with the food, the meals, with any medical expenses that they have. Right. And so we actually just went in for a taping and walked through their house and just met some of the patients and families that were there.
Yeah,
we did that in the beginning of Oakwyn too.
Yeah, so when we were a smaller, so Ronald McDonald House has so basically, it's with children's hospitals for the most part. A lot of families from the periphery areas that get treatment, either the BC Cancer Agency or a variety of different other where they need the main Vancouver hospital. They'll stay at Ronald McDonald House and they're fed there, and they kind of do their healing there as a family. And we've hosted some dinners and did some fun things there in the past, and it's such a great cause. And
any agent can get involved. I think the minimum investment is $2,500 and plus. And I'm donating every time I do a deal, a transaction. And so I'll be promoting that and hopefully get more agents that are to come on board.
That's very socially responsible.
Thank you. And I think personally, my other goal is to write a book. So I've been writing a couple of chapters. I talked about this on the last podcast with you guys, is writing a couple of chapters a day, and hopefully put something together eventually.
What's it about? Is it about real estate?
It's about real estate, but also about like woman leadership. Yeah. Because there's so many books on like self-help, but not a lot of books on like female
leaders.
Female leaders.
There's very little. Brene Brown's like the only one that's kind of comes up. But that's exciting for you.
Yeah,
we're pumped.
I would read your book. Even though it's maybe
it doesn't matter. It's not for
it's just
leader. It's just women leaderships.
Yeah.
I would read it.
A woman
for sure.
in leadership.
Yeah.
I love it. I'll read it.
And for your daughter too.
Yes.
So
little Soph will do your audiobook.
Well, we're so excited, and we're pumped to have you along for the ride of our expansion as we grow.
So if you're let's say you're an agent out in Burnaby, or you want to get connected with Oakwyn Realty North West, Jenny, what's the best way to connect with you?
Directly on my cell phone, 604-961-3559. My email is jenny@west1realestate.ca.
Right.
I'll be available by text, by email. Give me a call.
DM.
My DM is Woonhouse. WUNHAUS.
Right.
And would love to go for coffee.
Yeah. Or if you want to, guys, you can go to our normal plug here. Go to our website at oakwyn.com/join. Type into the message box pod 2021 and I want to talk to Jenny. And then
or Northwest, just throw Northwest in there.
And then we'll send those
Jenny.
details right to Jenny, and she'll be in touch with you guys and go from there. And you may receive a free piece of
mystery swag.
So
that's all I'm here for. Mystery swag.
Yeah, and I think anything you want to kind of add, Jenny?
Yeah, Jenny.
I'm so looking forward to launching this and being more in tune with being a managing broker.
Right, yeah.
I think that's a whole different role for me. And being out of just stepping out of the day-to-day transactions of like real estate, but just working on and with people's businesses.
I'm moving.
Sign the papers.
I want to be with Jenny. No, it's so exciting. We're right next to you. If you ever need anything, we are your number one fan.
Yeah,
we love you.
So
we're
support
excited.
Jenny, guys, if you're listening there. And on that note, guys, thanks so much for listening to the Oakwyn podcast. If you've enjoyed this podcast, and thank you, Jenny.
Thank you.
Round of applause for Jenny. And if you enjoyed this podcast, please rate us 5 out of 5 on the podcast platform you're listening to. And
please do that, guys. Please do that.
We need more reviews. Yeah, we have low
We're sadly
self-esteem.
low.
Yeah.
Sadly low
Imagine
self-esteem.
while you're writing the review, you can think about me packing my bowling bag alone.
Wearing your 2-stripe Converse.
Two-stripe Converse. Oh, no.
My tearaway pants and my tidy whities underneath.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I feel
This is pathetic.
We're
Least likely to succeed. Okay, guys, thanks so much.
Thanks so
Okay,
much.
take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye.
Bye.